This WBTV high-definition program is sponsored by Time Warner Cable. WBTV News Prime Time starts right now.
Carolina girl, best in the world.
Now on Prime Time, he said Carolina girls were the best in the world. Friends and fellow bandmates say General Johnson was the best in the world. The passing of a legend doesn't mean that beach music has died. Plus, dare to keep kids off drugs. It works. An elementary school-age child rats out his pot-smoking parents. But first on Prime Time, the search for Zara Baker takes police back to the little girl's home. Cadaver dogs brought in, Zara's mattress brought out. Good evening. Glad to have you with us tonight. I'm Jamie Bowl in for Marino Boyle, and there is new information in the search for Zara Baker. As we said, investigators returned to the family's home in their search for evidence. Plus, a neighbor just told us he believes Zara may have been held prisoner in the family's attic. And we're hearing from a woman who says she saw the 10-year-old as recently as 2 weeks ago. WBTV's Kay Johnson has all the new details, new on Primetime.
It's right up in this little hole right here.
Daryl Mims and his wife Shirley say when they went to investigate a smell after the Bakers moved out, this is what they found.
The door was gone, the shelf was gone, the rod was gone.
And they say footprints covered the sides of the closet walls and sheetrock in the attic was torn down.
Like somebody had been laying on it.
The Mims were neighbors with the Bakers from July to November of last year. They are also the managers of this Congress Street apartment complex in Granite Falls. The couple say during those 4 months they only saw little Zara once, the day the Bakers moved in.
I don't know. We used to hear noises in the middle of the night, so I don't know if it, it was actually the little girl staying up here or what was going on up here, but we've heard no more noises since they've been gone.
Friday, a canine was used to search this home and the Bakers' last known address again, too. This time, investigators removed beds and other items from the Hickory home. Adam Baker was seen leaving, but said nothing. Now, besides searching some of the previous homes that the Bakers have lived in, police are also following hundreds of leads. One of those leads led them here to this furniture store where employees say they remember seeing Zara and her stepmother 14 days before she was reported missing.
Her mother came up from the back, and her stepmother, and said Zara, and I thought that was a strange name, which it is. It's different. It's pretty, but it's different.
She was standing in the aisleway, and as I walked past, I put my hand on her shoulder and it said, "Excuse me, sweetheart." And she looked at me and smiled.
That smile, Pat Adams says, was the same one she found staring back at her in photos she found of Zara online. Before this information, police had not found anyone who'd seen Zara in the last month. The employees hope this new information will help, but wish, like the Mims, they could do more to bring the little girl home safely. In Hickory, Kay Johnson, WBTV, on your side.
And for continuing coverage of the Zara Baker case, there is more information on the web. Just log on now to WBTV.com, click News, then click Web Extras. We still don't know who fired the fatal shot that killed a South Charlotte man last night, but it does look like that dead man had a death wish. He traded gunfire with the cops on his front lawn last night before running into this house. After a 2.5-hour standoff, police kicked in the door and found 48-year-old David Sebasti dead on the floor. Bullet in his stomach. We don't have a picture of Sebasti because he doesn't have a rap sheet. An autopsy will help determine who killed him. No officers were hurt. New on Primetime tonight, a notorious serial robber has just been sent up the river on federal charges. Taj Pittman, maybe remember this guy. He robbed banks and businesses in Concord, Kannapolis, and Salisbury. And in December 2008, Pittman held off police and FBI agents during an hours-long standoff in East Charlotte. That night he slipped away. But a month later, they finally caught up with him. And now they won't have to worry about Taj Pittman for a long time because the feds don't mess around here. Pittman going to prison for 50 years. Won't be free man until he's 84. A 4-year-old pre-K student from Highland Renaissance Academy was left on the school bus for hours. Apparently no one noticed the little girl was missing for the entire day. The driver found the 4-year-old when he returned to the bus lot this afternoon. That little girl was alert but dehydrated. We lost a music icon this week. Legendary singer General Johnson died this week. Johnson was the lead singer of the popular beach music trio, chairman of the board. But despite the passing of this legend, this Carolina favorite, the 45s keep on spinning. Primetime's Jeff Atkinson joins us now. And Jeff, I know you talked to some of Johnson's friends today, fellow band member as well. They're not so much mourning his life, but celebrating it.
Like to see those 45s,
Yes.
Jamie. He was brilliant, unique, and caring. It's how they remember him tonight. General Johnson is tonight's cover story. The stories they tell make them laugh and make them cry. Two of General Johnson's closest friends.
He was the best. Yeah, he was good. The best.
His longtime fellow performer, Ken Knox, one of the chairmen of the board, and his longtime record producer and promoter, Jerry Goodman.
General was so unique and different. He was a one of a kind. He could write, he could sing, he could produce, and he was a great showman.
General Johnson was brilliant, unique, and caring. To me, that was General Johnson.
Give me just a little more time.
The song that made him and them famous came out in December '69 when they moved to Detroit and became a huge hit worldwide. General Johnson, his real name, and the chairman of the board would go on to produce other hits and other numbers.
Everything is Tuesday.
But Johnson never lost his love for the South, where he grew up. And by the mid-'80s, he and the chairman of the board had located in Charlotte, where they set up their own independent record label, Surfside Records. And the beach music movement took off.
General Johnson discovered beach music. He brought beach music to the Carolinas.
Today, the music defines the region. Carolina Girl. And another, I'd Rather Be in Carolina, a song still played at Carolina Panthers home games.
He thought it all out. He's all in his mind. And he said, let's go to the studio. When we get to the studio, it was magic. And you can hear that magic in songs that's been staying forever.
And the crowds are forever young. Age 8 to 80, they claim, turned on by a smooth sound as gentle as a sea breeze. We hooked up with the General's two close friends at the Wax Museum, an oldies record shop on Monroe Road. Even though he's gone, the music, it will live on.
We were together longer than most marriages. I loved him. And he loved, and I want the people of the Carolinas to know, he loved everybody in the Carolinas.
Johnson had been suffering from cancer since February, a fact he kept secret from all but his closest family and friends. It claimed his life. He was 67. A memorial service is planned for Tuesday in Atlanta.
Truly a legend. I love listening to the records. I know it may sound kind of crazy with the digital music nowadays, but something sounds a little richer when it's on an old record like
That's because
that.
we're old, Jamie.
Yeah, that must be it. I guess so. All right. Great story, Jeff. Thanks. Always a good time for beach music. Not necessarily great beach weather today. The sand may have been blowing in your eyes. Kelly Franson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, all sorts of gusty winds today, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. The lower elevations, 40 for the high country. But thankfully, those winds have started to calm down. Let me show you the latest wind readings from around the area. Just 5 miles an hour for Charlotte, for Hickory. Still a little bit breezier for Lenore and Boone, 12 miles an hour there. Also 12 miles an hour for Rock Hill. And that red you see is a red flag warning for fire danger that's in effect until 8 p.m. tonight. Now, I think we'll still see a few wind gusts up into the 15-mile-an-hour range for the next hour or two. Around 9 p.m., that's when our winds should finally start to die down for good. Of course, temperatures will continue to fall as well. 64 right now, 57 at 9, and down to 54 at 11. And a lot cooler than that for your Saturday morning. We'll talk about that and, of course, the next 7 days in your full First Alert weather forecast. Jamie?
All right, Kelly, we'll see you in a few minutes. Coming up next on Primetime, dare to keep your kids off drugs. You think that doesn't work? Think again. An elementary school student just narked on his pot-smoking parents. Plus, parents prepared to march through the streets of uptown Charlotte protesting a plan to close schools. And a little later on, the Bank of America 500 means major bank for the local economy. We'll show you how one local business is getting creative here in the home stretch. We're back in just 60 seconds.